Hey everybody, Average Gamer here. So I'm doing this video a little later than I normally do videos. It's currently almost 2 a.m. In the morning. The PTS came out last night, or a couple hours ago, and I've been spending the last couple hours fiddling, tinkering, trying to figure things out, and I've come up with a couple things. Old Bob there, was talking to him for a little while. Shout out to you, sir. About it. He's got a video up. You should look for it. He seems to be not in the same camp as me. So I'm always one to tell people, it's always look at the other side. Well, that's definitely him in this case. So what camp am I in? Well, I don't not like it, but I don't not hate it. What does that mean? Well, that means I think it's okay. I think it's one of it's been set up to address the complaints of the last last little public test. The complaint of the last public test was it was too easy to boat one specific weapon system, and now it's pretty much set up that you can't. Pretty much the best way to maximize the weapon tree, as you can see now, it's all one big tree, is to have two weapon systems minimum to get the biggest bang for your buck. The way I've broken it down is this: to unlock the most amount of nodes for an energy build, and that energy build being a medium pulse build, basically your laser build. It's about 26, I believe it was 26 or so nodes. If you're running a missile boat, only missiles, mind you, these are only one weapon system, it's 33. If you're running a UAC build, it's 24. If you're running a dual Gauss dual peep build, the best you can get out of that is 27. And LBX is roughly the same amount as autocannons, or ultra. If you're running just straight autocannons, then you're only in the early 20s, not even. I believe you're in the 19s-ish, because you don't have to worry about Gauss, you don't have to worry about a few things. So autocannons themselves, just regular autocannons without the jam, are going to be the primary weapon. To be honest with you, they're a pretty big deal. Mechs that just boat specific energy. So, for example, large pulse builds, large laser builds. I'm looking at you, 8 medium pulse Timberwolves, and looking at you, 5 ER large Battle Masters. I'm looking at you, dual large pulse, Penta, medium pulse, Black Knights. They're going to be not being able to min-max this thing. Now, that's really not a hindrance. Here's why. Because, you can't spend as many points in the system for weapons. But then you can start spreading them out everywhere else. To me, that's not a big deal. I'm cutting my losses in the weapon tree and then moving them over to armor, to mobility, and all that stuff, which we'll get into momentarily. I think it's going to be a hindrance to mechs that have more than one weapon system. So mechs that, say, are doing ballistic and energy, you're going to be spread to the right and to the left quite a bit. To get the most bang for your buck. Pretty much the way I'm looking at it now, the best way to minimize and maximize this thing is to run ballistic and missile, or missile and energy. You can do energy and ballistic. It's just a little harder because you spread things out a lot. Basically, what they've done is they've set this whole thing up so that ballistic is on the right, energy is on the left, and missiles are pretty much down the middle. I don't mind it. I think it's a good thing. Wow, just smack my monitor across my desk here. What I would prefer is a slow increase in the actual worthiness of the skill. So if I were to take velocity here versus velocity here, I would like this one to be worth more than this one for me to even worth take it. So saying all these being 4%, why this one be 2, 3, and then 4? And this one down here be 5 or 6. You know, kind of increase the worthiness to make me go down the tree more. Make me kind of push things out a little bit. Next thing, the structure. I actually like this. This is perfectly fine, actually. This is the only thing I have zero complaints about, other than is it shock absorbance I had the complaint about? The fact that you have to kind of... That's a lot of rain. If you want to get into like everything and minimize and maximize it, you have to take at least, I think it's 1 shock absorb. No, 2. 2 of these shock absorbents. No, 3. Other than that, I actually got to take a 4th one there. So I'm not a big fan of it. And you got to take the one here, actually. So, I mean, yeah, it's fall damage, so it's really not that bad, not that big of a deal. I walk off cliffs and all sorts of stuff all the time, so no problem. Agility. So here's my biggest problem with the skill tree. I think this needs to be reworked. The agility tree, I think, should be simply set the same way as the jump jet tree. Jump jet tree is simple. Here's your capacity, aka your burn time. Here's your vectoring, how much push forward you get. Here's how much heat it creates or negates. And then here is the overall actual lifting, like the actual lift strength. Done. Up, down, boom, boom, you're good to go. You pretty much can do this part, and then if you want to maximize it, do this part. I think that you should do the same thing with agility. Kind of set it up like this, but do a little bit of speed tweak up here, a little bit of speed tweak down there. Do, now this is going to be funny, but down the middle, do torso speed. Then do torso speed down the middle. Then do torso pitch and yaw. Then do arm pitch, speed tweak. Arm pitch, speed tweak. And then on the other side do arm pitch, speed tweak, arm pitch, speed tweak. Simple as that. That way I don't have to take a bunch of things that I want. The reason why I mentioned this, some mechs that I have don't have any weapons on like one of their arms. So to me, forcing me to take arm pitch is completely useless if I've taken off all the actuators. It goes with the mech basically. Some of the mechs, I just don't have any weapons on them. They're there basically to absorb damage. I want to spend all my points on torso yaw, torso pitch, torso speed. I can't. I've got to take the odd arm. I don't like that. I feel as though I should have the ability to pick just torso abilities and not have to take arm abilities. I don't like that. I wish it was kind of separate and easy go and done. Also, there's also things like kinetic burst. I really don't care. I don't need kinetic burst. Like there's certain things you have. I mean, it's out of the way here, so yeah, you don't have to take it. But then it's mixed into a couple other areas like here. No, you don't have to take it, but you're kind of, depending on what direction you go, you have to take handbrake, anchor turns. You want to take this torso speed. It forces you to take a few things that you don't want. I understand it's more of a, at that point, min-maxing. They're trying to fight the min-maxing thing, and I understand where they're coming from with that. They don't want you to be able to minimize and maximize the snot out of this thing and have a really, really powerful mech. But if they did it something like this, that would be okay. I like it. It would be a good idea. With the sheer amount of stuff you got to take in the weapon systems to maximize and minimize your abilities there, you're not going to be able to take everything in the agilities anyways, which is okay. Mech operations, same thing. I don't want to have to take improved gyros 3 or 4 times to fight screen shake when all I want to do is get cool run, heat containment, and pretty much that's it. Speed retention is pretty good if I'm running a mech with jump jets. So I mean, I'll probably end up taking things like that. But I don't like the way it's set up here. Here's forcing me again to take a lot of stuff I don't want. They're making me pick something and take something I don't need or want and spending money on it when I could be picking something else. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I think this could be worked a little bit better to maybe not penalize people as much. You're basically penalizing people in this one if they take stuff. If I want to take Cool Run and Heat Containment, these two, I've got to take Speed Retention or Improved Gyros and Quick Ignition. Well, I'm already trying to do things to counter my heat. Why would I take something that turns me back on after I've overheated? I don't want that. I want to make sure that I don't overheat in the first place. If you don't want me to take these things, simply set it up so that I can only take, out of the 5 cool runs, I can only take 3. But I have to take, if I want to take 5, I have to take something else. Or I can't take something of something else somewhere else. Have it so that certain things don't work together instead. Have it so that mech, if I pick speed tweak, I have to pick things like speed retention. I have to do it because they work together. If I'm tweaking my mech to run a lot faster, I'm going to be running up hills and stuff like that. So, if I'm get lagged or whatever, this will keep me at a good speed. Sensor systems. I like this. This is pretty much our consumables right here. It's good. I think the order needs to be changed up a little bit. Like maybe make more than one version of advanced zoom. Like they did with the seismic. Maybe have like a sensor branch. I don't know, to be honest with you. It's one of the things where it's certain things I just don't want. Like I always go here and always go like this, to be honest with you. And then I kind of stop. It's like, well, I have to get target info gathering because that's the thing I get. If I want advanced zoom because I'm running a sniper build, I've got to take it. But I'm running a brawler, so I have to go through and take target decay, which is not a bad deal because if I'm chasing after someone, I want to know where they go. But target retention, actually target retention, not bad. It's okay, so it's okay. I take that. Now I'm kind of stuck again. Well, now I have target retention, so now I've got the 360 target retention. But, well, now what? I got 100 meters of seismic. I have a 7% target info gathering. Got a 28% increase in my sensor range. Do I go for, radar derp? Do I go for target decay? Well, if I go for target decay, I can't go up. So I'll have to might as well go target info gathering up here and work my way down. Not a fan of that. I am a fan though that I have me having to make decisions. But make me have a reason for doing these decisions, not just am I going to spend my hard-earned money or not decision, and is this useless to me or not. And last but not least, let's reset that, is the part that I am concerned about the most. The miscellaneous section, or as I'm calling it, the support tab. Right now, this is going to be really good for support mechs. So I'm thinking this is really good for lights. You got your capture assists, you got your UAV ranges, consumable slots. With this, you can unlock 6 consumable slots. You also can extend the duration and the number of shells, for example, for artillery and airstrikes by 25%. And 25% here. So you can actually grab an extra consumable slot. So I now have 3. I can now, with these 2, make airstrikes 50% better. So as of this moment, there's 50% more shells that land in an artillery strike, or 50% more bombs that land in an airstrike, and they last 50% longer. Well, that's pretty good, eh? Well, what if I did expanded reserves? This gives me another spot for a strike. So now I can do 2 airstrikes or 2 artillery strikes, and that leaves me now with technically 4. I had 2 at the beginning. I got an extra consumable slot, so that's 3. And now I have the extra strike, which is, of the 3, I now can use 2 of them for artillery, which is pretty good, right? Loadout, consumables. We now have 3 unlocked. We can do artillery, and a UAV. Look at that. That itself is amazing. One thing also you'll notice is everything here actually takes effect immediately. So right now you'll notice like my armor is 232. If we go into skills, actually we'll get into that in a second. So this is pretty good. What I don't like is if you have this maxed out, we'll ignore the narcs and the capture assist. It costs around 300. The actual cost of maximizing all of this out is cheap. I'll give it that. The whole thing for extra cool shots and all that stuff. This gives us 2 cool shots, 2 artilleries or airstrikes, or 1 of each, and 2 UAVs. Total of 6 consumables. This is going to cost us almost 900,000. Did I unlock anything else? Nope. Just want to make sure I didn't unlock anything else here. Yeah. So this is going to give us. We'll go to our loadout. Consumables. All 6 slots open. So now I can throw another UAV. And I can do 2 cool shots. No problem if I want to. I think this is going to be changed up. So we're only going to have one type of. Well, the frame rate on the screen for some reason is acting all squirrely. But yeah, so we can have 2 artillery strikes, 2 cool shots, and 2 UAVs. Pretty awesome, eh? Yeah, it's going to cost you 360,000. It's going to cost you 1/3 of what it cost to unlock it. On average, everyone makes 150 to 160 C-bills a match. That ain't going to happen if you're running a light support mech. Now, with dual artillery strikes, dual cool shots, and dual UAVs, this is insane. Not a fan of how much this is going to cost. I'm hoping the cost of this part here is not reflecting the final version. I'm going to fire off a tweet and just verify to make sure that 60,000 is now the new price for consumables. Since it'll cost us, if you max it out, 360,000. Which means if you win, you make no money if you use up all your consumables. So, yeah. That's something that kind of concerns me. So we're just going to unlock that. And now we'll go back here and all this should be gone now. Should be able to say strip. All modules, eh? Back to the weapon systems. So one thing you're also going to notice is that it actually impacts the mech immediately. So when we did those changes, it shows up. Now what I haven't checked is the armor, which we're going to do right now. Quick condition, first. So this reduces our crit chance. Wait, this is the wrong. No, this does. Fall damage of -10, skeletal density, structure bonuses, critical hit chance. Interesting. So they actually didn't. Where's our armor bonus? Right there. Okay. So basically just going to take it all for now. Load it. Yeah, see, it's still the same. But you'll notice +2, front 2, armor 2, armor 2. So we got that extra. Where is it? Enhancements. Armor plus 9.2%. So that's 2. And if I'm not mistaken, it goes by how much you can actually get. So it looks at it and goes 26. And you also notice the structure now as well. Did we do any structure? Of there we go. Of a 9.8. So it also tells you how much structure is in each one. Don't remember that being in the other game, but yeah. We'll also continue going here. Shock absorbance, more armor. I think that's everything. Notice now it's 5% and 1% on the rear. And you notice that our structure went up, which is pretty good. So I like how everything kind of shows. And it also, on the light, emphasizes the legs, if you notice. 43 in the legs. I like that. I like how it affects it immediately. Missiles, on the other hand, I don't think it affects them here. Right now, our heat management's 1.58. Go to the skills. Gonna refresh that. We're gonna go into things right now. XP, velocity, range, explosive. We're not too worried about that. This is just more ammo. We were at 1.58 before. Range. I think that's it. That's it. Load out. Still 1.58. But you'll notice all our stuff's in here, so it's not going to show up immediately. Not a big fan of that. I kind of wish we had more of an impact here, showing us what specifically was being changed. I'm not a fan of that. But the fact that the structures do. Like now it's back down to 32 and 24. So the armor shows, just the weapon stuff doesn't. Actually, what if I saved it? Didn't show now. So 1.58. Yeah, so it's one of those things. You won't know your actual numbers, unfortunately. You'll just know you're getting bonuses to it. Kind of wish it impacted that stuff down there, but it's not. That's one of the things I'm also not liking about the system. The new engine system, to be 100% honest with you, I haven't really noticed a difference. I'm going to show you right now with the XL on the Jenner Oxide here. So right now here is all our information. They have mentioned that engines are going to a certain point still affect things, but not to a massive amount. So what we're going to do is we're going to lower the engine a little bit. And you'll notice stuff here still ain't changing. Not changing at all. Basically, at this current point, if we want to change this information, we have to take the skills. To be honest with you, I haven't noticed right now any major differences. With the quirks of the Jenner and the way it acts now, I haven't seen any problems or any issues. And I like it, to be 100% honest with you. Instead of having all this torso, yaw, and all that stuff up here, they basically just automatically included it, which is good. Overall, I have to admit, I do like this version of the PTS. It's good. Both Inner Sphere and Clan Mechs feel good. I mean, as you can see, the frame rate right now is 5.1%. It's 5.1 right now. I'm getting horrible frame rates right now in the mech lab. Let's pick a mech here that I know. Oh. Yeah, all of a sudden the frame rate really is kind of taking a dump here. Go home. That's old Bob. Let's gonna go into the testing grounds real quick. Crimson straight. And we're gonna check the frame rate there. So I'm getting 5.7 frames a second. Now, mind you, it was working fine a moment ago, so maybe just me recording while playing. Yeah, because I'm getting 70 right now. Yeah, I'm in the 70s.
Target acquired.
70s and 20s. So there's definitely something going on. Now, it could be anything from servers or whatever.
Destroyed.
Yeah, so this is the Loop de Guerre.
New target acquired.
It also might be just the build with the recording software, but
Critical.
because it wasn't like this when I wasn't recording, so that makes me a little nervous.
Fuel at 25%. Fuel at 0%.
But yeah, so overall, I have to admit, I do like. I do like the PTS. I like the way it's feeling. I like the feel of the new skill tree. Is it optimal? Not yet. Does it need some tweaking? Probably. Like I said, the mobility I think needs to be changed. I think I need, we should get better mobility, better mobility tree, where we don't have to pick a thought of things we don't want to. I like the way the weapons system is, the way the weapon tree is. It does force you to, if you want to maximize, go with all 3 weapon systems or 2 weapon systems at least. So it is going to kind of hinder people that are boating. I can see it actually breaking up the meta. That's one of my main concerns right now. Is will this enforce the meta and make the meta it? Or will this break the mold, make people change up? I mean, one of the wonderful things about mech games like this, MWO, Armored Warfare, World of Tanks, War Thunder, World of Warships, the meta is not the meta forever. The meta is always changing. The meta is always evolving. For example, in this new system, I can't see single weapon mechs being able to really do much anymore. If a mech wants to specialize in one weapon system, it's going to have some problems. Mechs with at least 2 weapon systems are definitely going to excel. I already can see my Sumner, my Shadow Cat, one of my Jenners are definitely going to go down the wayside. Is that a good thing? Yeah, it's also going to force me to play other mechs too. It's going to make me spend more time playing on other mechs. It's not a bad thing. Change, not a bad thing. In the end, it's definitely a good change. Change for the better. Could it be instituted a little bit better and tweaked a little bit here and there? Yeah, I think it could be. But all in all, things are going in a good direction. See you next time. Bye-bye.